Hey guys, it's SRC Reptiles, and today I'm making a little update on my mouse here. So this here is Twinkie, and he just got a new exercise wheel today. So he used to use a 6-inch silent spinner, and today I got him a wodent wheel that is a 8-inch, because I was noticing his tail was kind of starting to, instead of staying straight while he was running, it was starting to curl kind of up like this when he was running, and they're not supposed to. His tail's supposed to be straight when he runs. So I got him this, and I just got done washing it recently. I went through and removed half of his bedding and added half in new. So, because I wanted to take everything out and kind of make sure everything was going to fit in there fine with this larger wheel, and I was able to put everything back in so he could keep everything. So I went ahead and put some Timothy hay and his oat spray and his millet spray, and I went ahead and replaced all of that. So he's having fun kind of going around and sniffing around and making sure everything's where it should be. What you doing, buddy? He's like, you're not interesting. I don't want to sniff you. I have yet to see him actually get in there, but he has kind of sniffed at it and stuff. He really loves his millet. So if you guys ever have mice or currently have mice, they really love millet to snack on, and I can show you guys which one it is that I use. Let me put his lid on real quick though, because I don't want him to try to get out while I'm not watching. There we go. Nice and quiet so it's not too loud. So bedding wise, this is what I get him. It's Carefresh, and it is the paper bedding, and it says all this stuff. It's the really big one. This is also the same stuff that I use for my corn snake. So this here is his oat. I got these, or I should say I got this one at Petco or PetSmart, because Petco didn't have any of this. Well, actually they may have had it, but it was in a really large bag. Also, it's a little bit cheaper at PetSmart. This one here, I'm pretty sure I got at Petco. And then I got the Timothy hay at Petco as well. It's just KT brand. But, and he doesn't really care too much for the Timothy hay. He doesn't really eat on it, because, I mean, mice aren't really the type to really eat on the hay too much. I still give it to him to use for, like, nesting material. The oats and the millet are mainly the main thing that he likes to snack on, so that's why I'll put it around his tank. Now that I'm looking, hopefully, it would be nice if he'd get in that wheel so I can make sure that it's not going to touch. It shouldn't. If I push on it, it touches, but it shouldn't if he's just running in it. And I'm sure he's probably going to dig under it and a whole bunch of other stuff as time goes on. So you can see how much bedding he has. I know it's kind of hard to tell just from rule of thumb, but if I had to guess, probably at least about 6 inches. Definitely a little bit deeper over here. This end I didn't make as deep because his water is down here. He loves burying his water. But I kind of packed it down over here so that he could get to the water nozzle. I'm going to be bringing in my 29-gallon from outside and washing it really good so he can have more height. Also, so this will not get buried. A 29 tall is pretty much the same exact length as a 20-gallon long, only it's got height to it. So I think the 20 gallons are like a foot tall. I believe the 29 gallons are 15, 18, somewhere in there, like height-wise. Oh, he's sniffing the top of the wheel now. But yeah, so that's what he is going to be getting moved into eventually. Because I don't mind the length. The length works just fine. It's the height, though, especially with this taller wheel now, and of course with the whole issue of him burying his water bottle. So, as you can see, like I said, he really loves snacking on this millet. It is like his favorite, and you'll know when he's ready for a new one, because he'll take that one and he'll start tearing it apart and like spreading it out. Also, of all of his chew toys, he loves this one the most. It's like a twine, I think it's actually out of willow, but it's like a woven thing that I got him at PetSmart. I think he possibly has chewed on this a little bit. He does not care for his pine cone because he has some natural pine cones I bought him. And then I have like a little like woven wheel ball type thing back there of like dry grass or whatever it's made out of. He don't care for anything else but this. So it's funny because of all the different things I've put in there for him to try and chew on. He's got like an apple wood stick back there. He has 3 of them, but I'm assuming the others are in like the dirt that's over here, because he has like an all natural dirt that I mixed in with Eco Earth so it wouldn't be as dusty that he has back there to dig in. So, and every so often I give him a mealworm as a treat. He absolutely goes crazy for mealworms. So, and I'll show you real quick what his diet is, like what he gets fed, and I'll probably sprinkle some in here just because where I cleaned out like half the bedding or around half the bedding and put in some more. I'm sure a lot of his food stores that he had are either at the very bottom of the tank or they are in that bag. So I'll get him a little bit of food. I'll show you the measuring cup that I use. Not really a measuring cup, it's just this little dish that I used to use for my crested geckos. It's from Creepy Cresties. It's just a little dish, and I do either an even or a slightly heaping scoop of this, and I will spread it throughout the entire tank and sprinkle it around so he actually has to forage for it. But I'm going to go ahead and put his tank back up here so it's not on the floor, because it's a lot colder on the floor than up here, and then I'll get him some food, and I'll show you too what his diet is. Really? Oh my goodness. This isn't for you. You have food. She's like, ooh, your hand smells like the mouse. Ooh. Oh my goodness. So anyway, that's Cleo. But anyway, this is the food that Twinkie gets. So he used to get Sunburst by Higgins. I didn't like that it's a food and treat in all in one, so I switched him over to the Vita Prima, and it is complete nutrition. Sunseed, something special, that's what it says up here. So I like the variety of this, and it's not just a whole bunch of crap. So once this gets empty enough, I'm going to pour the rest of this into here and kind of mix it in. But for now, I just wanted to show you, this was what he was originally getting, and then I switched him over to this, like I said. It's got a lot of ingredients in it and different things. Which, let me see if I can find, oh, just right here on the back, right in front of me. So, anyway, this is the different stuff here on the back. It just says that it's got oats and wheat, alfalfa, sorghum, rolled wheat flakes, blah, 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 all this other stuff. You can read it if you want to. Anyway, though, a lot more variety than this stuff here, which I think it also is on the back. So I'll just kind of show you the comparison on here. I'll let you pause it and read it if you want to. I just wanted him to have something that wasn't full of snacks, to be honest, because as you saw, he is kind of a little chunky monkey. So, like I said, this is what he's getting. Once this gets half empty, so probably once it gets down to like right here, I'm going to pour this in there and like toss the bag around and mix it up so that this doesn't go to waste. It's not like there's a whole bunch in there, so it's not like a whole bunch would be thrown away, but I don't really like to waste. And it's not that this isn't good for him, it's just not got as much variety, and it's also got a lot more like snack junk food type stuff in it versus what's in here. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get some of this food scooped up, and then we'll go feed him real quick. I figured I'd show you as well, like when you open the bag, this is kind of the different variety that you're seeing. There's a lot going on in here. As where when you look in here, there's just a whole bunch of kind of the same old stuff. So I like to, also those are like huge blocks for him to eat. And I know that they come in here too, but there's a bunch in there and he does not eat those. Like he'll kind of nibble on them. But I like that there's like the smaller pieces, like those triangles and circles that he can easily eat. There's those like pea chips in there, a whole bunch of different seeds and whatnot. So there's a lot more variety I feel like in this one versus this one here. So he has more options for what he does or doesn't want to eat on versus where this is kind of more, I feel, limited, I guess you could say. Cleo, again, this is not for you, it's for the mouse. So this is about how much food I give him. Just kind of show you. So we'll go in there and give him some now. Okay, so his tank is now up here, so you can't see it as well, but here's his food, and I normally, like I said, I'll try to show you, I just kind of will sprinkle it in. And sometimes I'll make sure too that it like goes in that coconut and it goes literally everywhere so that if he wants it, he has to forage for it. And you can see here, he is already digging. He's probably already found him something because it looks like he is eating on something. And as he digs tunnels and stuff, a lot of this food that's like sitting on the side here from where what I've just poured in will go down into the bedding if he does not grab it before he starts digging. So then that also kind of mixes it in down here so that he's got food that he can kind of discover as he's going along and making, oh, his little thing fell. Going along and making tunnels and stuff. So I use suction cups to hold this up because this is technically made for like a cage, so it's got a little clip on it. So normally the suction cups work, but I'm going to have to tinker with that. It's not like right now that this is technically going to hang because, there we go, kind of got to push it around that to kind of keep it in place. But yeah, so hopefully guys you enjoyed this little video with my mouse Twinkie. Now I bought him in October, so that'll kind of give you an idea, and he was about 17 days old when I purchased him. So yeah, I'll be pretty excited if he makes it to 3 years. I know mice sometimes don't live very long. I think their average life expectancy is like 3 to 5 years or something, kind of similar to a rat. Let me put his lid on real quick so he doesn't get out. Okay, so I got the lid on and he's back in there like probably snacking on something, I'm sure. I'm not going to bother giving him a mealworm right now because I did just give him a whole bunch of food spread throughout the tank, so I don't want him to get too fat by giving him like food all the time. Like I said too, he's got these oats and that millet that he really likes to eat on, so I want to make sure that I'm not giving him too much food too often. So like I said, I'll scoop that and I'll sprinkle it in there, and that's about what I give him. So like I said though, anyway guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video getting to see the different things, and I will definitely make an update when I go to put him into the taller tank, because once I get him into that tank, it's probably going to go pretty close to this bar up here. Like, it's pretty tall. I used to have Ember and Blaze sharing that tank, because in the center of it, it has a divider that's like, oh, now I'm going to forget what it's called. It's a thick plastic, and I hate that I can't remember what it's called. I'll put it on the screen if I remember afterwards, or I'll just Google it probably. But anyway, it's got a divider in the center, so that's the only thing I'm going to have to figure out how to remove. I don't know if, because it's got the same kind of sealant that you use for fish tanks is what we use to seal that, so it would be all like not toxic to the geckos once it completely cured. But anyway guys, I'm going to stop rambling. When he gets that new tank, I'll show you guys how I've got it set up, because obviously it'll be taller, so I can definitely do a lot more with like having height and stuff. Because right now this branch, you know, it's just laying down. But once I have that taller tank, this could definitely be something that can be up in the corner, like perched upwards and supported by the bedding so it doesn't just fall over. And that could be something he can climb on, and there can be other things. He does have 2 houses in here, but they are buried under the bedding. So there is one house underneath this coconut on the very bottom, and then there's a bendy bridge that I turned into a little cave for him that's down here underneath this huge amount of bedding, which I don't think you can probably see under here because it's just too dark. But yeah, so he has other areas that he can make tunnels to, and those are like his cozy areas for when it's like cold that he can go to if it's cold that he wants to be warmer. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to support the channel. It always encourages me to make more videos. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good rest of your day.